Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft beta testing video by me, FoxyNoTail, here on our beta testing world that is hosted by Chuck, which normally goes through a VPN. However, we're not going through a VPN today because we're having massive issues. I'm clicked on that chest and then a few seconds later, there we go, we get the chest open, and that is, well, it's not a direct LAN connection, but it is a direct connection via the UK. Chuck's PC is going through a mobile network, mine is going through fiber optic broadband, and there is a huge delay. Now, I don't know if this is to do with one of those internets not behaving very well, or this latest version. I've literally just installed Minecraft Beta 1.16.220.50, but look at that. Look how long the delay was from sitting in the bed. Let's try that again with the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-second delay. So I'm going to put us on the same network and see if we have the same problem, because this could be a brand new bug, or it could just be my hardware playing up. So I'll be back in a second. Well, good news. After a lot of faffing about on the internet and fixing my laptop, it appears that it was just my laptop having an off day. So we can see here that I can immediately open the chest as expected, and when I click on the bed, it straight away says that. So I guess now I need to turn on the VPN again. Jeez. And there we are, just like that. We are back in, and still no lag, which is good news. Right, that must mean it is time to start my 1-hour timer, as I usually do at the beginning of these Let's Plays, and it's time to spend an hour playing survival Minecraft in the beta version of Minecraft. And today, the thing I want to do is get this house finished, which means I need a whole lot more bone blocks. Well, it's not actually bone block, is it? It's mushroom blocks, and I don't want to fall down my mine shaft. What I do want to do is I want to finish off the end bits to my roof there, so the house is completely done, and then get farming. We said about farming in the last episode. I want to make a farm, you know. I want to make crop farms and animal farms, and I know literally just over there in that abandoned village there are all sorts of farmy bits, which means it's good because we don't have to go far to steal all of the crops. But yeah, rather than using theirs, I do want to make my own. So yeah, we're going to do that. So first things first, with my Silk Touch pickaxe, I need to get as many of these mushrooms as possible so that I can, you know, get their stems. And I pretty much mined most of these out from this area already. So I think what we're going to have to do is maybe actually just get some of the mushrooms themselves and grow ourselves some giant mushrooms, which might be a little bit tricky because they don't grow in the light. Okay, so I'm going to smash this one to bits here with my axe like so. You can see we are getting some block lag, the proof that we are running through a VPN and not playing directly. Jeez, that's really bad block lag. That was horrible. Has this axe got unbreaking on it? It has. Well, there you go. If you didn't know already, having unbreaking on your tools is what causes block lag. When the blocks disappear then reappear. If you use a tool that doesn't have it, that won't occur. Now, what we need to do is go and find somewhere to place these onions so we can harvest the stems. And I think maybe digging out an area underground might not be a bad idea to do that. So therefore they will grow and we don't have to worry about, yeah, the daylight and what not and such. Or we could go on a little adventure and see if we can find some podzol. That might not be a bad idea either. The thing is, though, I don't want to waste my time wandering about aimlessly looking for spruce because, you know, it's going to be pretty tricky trying to find taiga just on a whim. So I have loaded up the Chunk Base app on my other screen, and I am going to follow the directions. So if we go on the Z, in pretty much a straight line, we will get to a taiga biome. Or if we was to go in that direction by about 1,000 blocks, we'd also find one. So it's relatively equidistant from where we are now. There's actually more biome variations in that direction, but I think it's nice and easy just to go in a straight line. So we're going to do it this way. We're just going to keep going until we get there, and hopefully it won't take us too long. Although it is 1,000 blocks on feet, which is, yeah, not the fastest way of getting around in Minecraft, especially when you're stuck going through a forest. So while I am going on an adventure looking for a taiga forest, and I like this landscape, this is very interesting and different, but yeah, while I'm going on an adventure to try and find a taiga forest, why don't you sit back and relax and watch a little bit of our latest feature that we're covering in today's video? Copper! And as I sit here doing this sort of time-lapsey type thing, trying very hard to watch copper oxidize, I notice that there are some interesting things about this. We're currently flying in the sky, we've got cheat engine turned on, and this is very interesting. So I had assumed that copper would, each individual block I thought would oxidize at a different time. And if you don't know what oxidization is, it's basically copper over a long period of time will go through different stages. It will go from copper to exposed copper to weathered copper and then finally oxidized copper. And this basically reflects what happens to copper in real life as it is exposed to air for long periods of time. And you can see here that the results are relatively interesting. Now I started when I laid this slab of a full 128 by 128 blocks using a command, so they were all placed at exactly the same time. I was over here setting up this little thing which we're going to be using to talk all about copper with, and I laid that, and then I turned on Cheat Engine, which is basically an app that allows you to run the game incredibly quickly to simulate time passing quickly, and I sat and I watched as it took forever. But what was interesting is the area close to me, which was loaded first, actually oxidized last. So as I was flying up here, you can see the chunks around me that were loaded because they're the ones that have changed, and we can now see those ones have literally just changed as well. One whole chunk at a time, which is absolutely crazy because, well, you'd have thought they would have gone individually, but that's absolutely fine. From the Minecon live stream last year, I believe the whole idea of copper is that you can create a roof made of copper that will age over time and oxidize, very much like you get on roofs in a lot of the important or historical buildings in Sweden, which is where the game is made. And as a result, I was on the impression that the copper would oxidize at different rates so that you got variations in the blocks that made up your roof. But if they're all going to oxidize at exactly the same time, it kind of just means your roof is going to go through entire stages. It's going to be, first of all, just like this. And then after a very long time, it's going to be just like this. And then after a very long time after that, it's going to be just like that until it gets to this point here. And it's going to be just the oxidized ones, which is a bit of a shame, really, because I think it would be a lot better if it went through the different phases at different speeds. So let's say this block I put here takes 10 days to turn into this block, but this block I put here maybe takes 11 days to turn into this block, or 12 days, so that you get variation as it starts to age, which would better mimic real life. So it's a bit of a shame that they all went like that, but it is very interesting they go from a chunk at a time. And what is also interesting is that I've actually spent more time over at this section from being over here, but that side went first, which is very bizarre. Anyway, that should have come later into me talking about copper, but it didn't, so here we go. Let's start from the beginning. Copper is found in the world in the form of copper ore, which is broken because it shouldn't rotate. Can you see how this is rotated like that? It absolutely shouldn't rotate. It should always be placed in the same orientation, but it doesn't, so that needs fixing. But anyway, copper and its ore image, the textures for the new ores, I've got to admit, I really don't like them. I'm really sorry to Jasper, the guy that makes all the textures for Minecraft. It's not a dig at you, mate. You do some fantastic things with these textures, but I have to say, I really don't like it. I don't like it one bit. So anyway, you got copper ore. You go mining that, and then you get your copper, and you stick it in the furnace. Or you can use a blast furnace as well, as I will demonstrate here. We'll put 32 in there, and we will put 32 in there, and you put, oh, now put 32 in there, and you'll see we can smelt them in the blast furnace as well. If you don't already know what a blast furnace is for, basically to do things quicker. That's going to smelt a lot quicker than that one. Once they're smelted, they become a copper ingot, which you can then use to craft copper blocks, which is very nice. And the copper blocks, when you place them in the world, will eventually oxidize over time through these different stages into oxidized copper. There is nothing you can do about it unless you've got a honey farm. We'll talk about that in a minute. The other thing you can do with these copper is you can then turn them into copper or cut copper blocks. Now you can do that on the crafting table, or you can use a stone cutter. But that's for stone. Apparently not. It's apparently a metal cutter as well, because you can turn them into that. What's interesting though is you can't actually then use that to make the variations directly. Let me give you an example of what I mean. If I have a piece of stone and I put it on the stone cutter, I can make all of the variations, including stone brick walls, stone brick stairs, stone brick slabs, and stone bricks, all from the off. I don't have to make the stone bricks first, then put those back in order to make the other things. But for some reason with copper, when we put the copper in, we have to make the cut blocks first and then make the stairs and slabs. That feels like a bug to me. That feels like that shouldn't happen. Similarly, again, with blackstone, if we put blackstone in there, we can make all of the variations of blackstone without having to put it in twice. I don't have to make the polished blackstone first and put that back in to get the stairs and slabs. It just feels a bit weird that copper doesn't have the same sort of way of working on the stone cutter, really. It feels not quite right. But anyway, we can then turn that into cut copper, and you've got different variations. We've got stairs, cut copper blocks, cut copper slabs, and copper blocks of each of the different phases. And if you don't want them to age, if you don't want them to go through this phase as they've been in your world, if you just want to build with the exposed ones, or if you just want to build with the ones that are fresh, or if you just want to build with the weathered ones, then what you can do is you can go back to your crafting table with a honeycomb, and you can grab your copper block, you can put your honeycomb on there, and you can get a waxed copper block. And what a waxed copper block is, it's exactly the same texture. In the world, you can't tell them apart, but these ones will never ever age, so they're always going to be set. And you can wax the first three variants. So you can wax the copper, the exposed copper, and the weathered copper. You cannot, however, wax the oxidized copper, because that would be completely pointless, because once it gets to that stage, it can't age any further. It is fully oxidized made, it's not going anymore. So don't think, oh, I can't, it's a bug. Why won't it let me wax that one, mate, when I can wax the rest? It's not a bug, it's totally intentional. It would be completely pointless. So yeah, we can keep these in the stages we want them to be, and you'll see when we get them and they're waxed, it shows you waxed weathered copper block, which is an incredibly long name for a block. So what is copper useful for? Well, not only does it look pretty nice, it's a very nice block for building, but you can also craft the lightning rod out of it, which we've also covered quite a lot in this beta series so far. The lightning rod obviously conducting electricity from the lightning. Instead of setting your house on fire, it will just, absorb that lightning, which is very useful. Also quite useful for creeper farms as well. And you can see there is a block next to me that says telescope. As we saw from Minecon, they are adding a telescope into the game that's going to allow you to zoom in rather than having to, change your field of view or use an external field of view app. You'll be able to just zoom in with your telescope, but that's going to require crystal, which isn't in the game yet, and the copper as well, from what we were told at least. That may change. So copper, what else can it do? Not a lot really. It makes a nice noise. And I think they all make the same noise. It seems that way. And it's, it just looks nice, I guess. I suppose other things we might want to try and figure out from this is, can we detect the state of the copper with redstone? Is there a way of actually detecting? No, it doesn't give a comparator output. Can we pass a redstone signal through it? Is often another good test that we should decide. Yes, we can. That's good news. And does it act like glass in the fact that can we staircase the redstone up with it or not? I would doubt it very much. No, it behaves like a proper full block, just like any other normal block in the game. So yeah, there's no particularly unique properties to it. It doesn't give off a light level or anything like that. It's just a nice block. So there we go, copper, a nice addition. It's got a couple of bugs in it that need fixing, i.e. the rotated copper ore and the stone cutter weirdness that's going on with that. But other than that, I think it's great. Anyway, let's get back to survival. Well, there we go. Copper. Very interesting stuff indeed. However, I am a big derp, and I forgot to mention during that featurette that drowns will no longer drop gold ingots. They will in fact drop copper ingots, and it's a little bit late, or a little bit early in the day, sorry, to find that and see it in action. So instead, here's some gold that I just stumbled across in this chest here. That could come in useful for us in the not too distant future. And I am, of course, going to steal the chest as well, because chests are very valuable. It's just made of wood, mate. Yeah, it's very valuable. I have stumbled across a ginormous ravine, literally like 20 blocks away from where we just were a second ago. I'm supposed to be making my way 1,000 blocks away, and I'm finding interesting things. They're not relevant. And yes, mountains are currently in Minecraft Bedrock Edition betas. And no, I'm not going to go to any today because it's not Mountain Day, so you're going to have to wait for another beta testing video for that. Today is all about farming. Well, it's not exactly the spruce that I was looking for, but I found some spruce. So I found myself a little village here, so I might as well raid it. And I did see in the distance over there are some taiga trees up on that hill. We'll grab this cartography table here. Might as well have a rummage and a compass. We'll take it. And another chest. I like myself a nice tasty chest. We could obviously rip out all of the trapdoors and doors and stuff like that and save ourselves some building materials, but I'm not too fussed about that. I'm more interested in just, making sure the villagers don't have anything nice. I hate villagers. I hate them with all my heart. They're like the most evil, horrible things that was ever created in Bedrock Edition or Minecraft. I wish they would all just, fall off something and not exist anymore. I hate them. I hate them. Nicking your stuff, mate. You can do nothing about it, you peaceful creatures that don't hurt anyone. I hate you. Smash your crops to bits. I'm not even going to pick it up because I hate you. Give me all your stuff, mate, because I hate you. Ooh. Hate you, mate. Why do you hate villagers so much? Because doing literally anything with them at any point is just soul destroying. It hurts so much. Hey, mate. How you doing? Love these villagers. Love them, mate. Oink. It's mine. 2 grindstones. Don't think so, mate. Hate you. Ooh, many. My hatred for the villagers has allowed me to generate many, many items in my inventory. I don't want ferns. I don't want spruce. Actually, spruce would be useful because then we can grow it and make podzol. Duh. Large fern. Nah, we're good. Hate you. This is a big village. It looked like a tiny village when I first got there, but it's big. And look, we found the spruce. Broke your path, mate. What are you going to do about it? Hate you. Shouldn't say hate. It's a nasty word. Yeah, but I do, though. I'm just being honest. Really, really hate them. Like with all my heart, with all my passion that I've got, I hate them. Not just a bit. They're like the worst thing in the world. I wish they'd all just evaporate into an abyss of nothingness, It would make me feel better. Hate you, mate. The house I haven't stolen things from. These villagers were very poor. Very poor indeed. Out of all of the houses that I've raided, I've only got 1 emerald. Very poor villagers. Almost feel guilty raiding them, but no, actually I don't. Nope, changed my mind. I did, for a split second there, almost felt guilty, but then I realised how much I hate the villagers, and now I don't feel guilty at all. I'm back at this giant ravine. That doesn't seem right to me. Look at that, how it's like a perfect chunk edge there in the middle of this ravine. How weird, why? What's that all about, mate? That don't make any sense. I'm wondering if it's because it's got something to do with having that like cursed portal inside it and it's overwritten the that. But yeah, that's very odd. Anyway. Well, good news, I can see my house from here, and we are only 20 minutes into this video. Yeah, that's right, we've wasted 20 minutes going to the taiga and coming back again. But fear not, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because there's no rush. We've got as long as we want. This series can go on for as long as we want it to. I mean, yes, at some point we're going to have covered all of the main new and exciting features coming to Bedrock Edition, but that doesn't stop us playing. Doesn't stop us having a let's play. Doesn't stop us just doing beta survival SMP stuff. No, it's not multiplayer. Well, it kind of is because Chuck's here. He doesn't count because he's just an alt account. Wow. Not an SMP then. Jeez. Okay, I'm going to attempt to quickly dump as much stuff as I can very quickly so that we can get cracking. Another reason I want to go quick is there are a couple of sheep outside which would make the start of a good sheep farm. So let's get both of those tied up onto that fence post so they don't despawn, fingers crossed. And let's get cracking with this spruce. So I put it away in there. Let's put as much other stuff away as we can. Let's get cracking. Oh yeah. So one thing that's going to be useful is going to be bone meal. And I've got a little bit of bones, and we can turn that into bone meal without a problem. We don't need the bones for anything right now. I want to try something. Now, I've no idea if this is supposed to work or not, but if I grow these trees under the... Oh, I won't be able to because I can't place them in water, will I? Okay, so if I get rid of the water inside of this little circle of dirt that I've just made with those blocks there and grow our trees inside of that, well, first of all, will it work because they've got blocks next to them? But if it... No, it doesn't. It's not going to work, is it? Oh, what a waste of bone meal. Okay, I didn't know if it would like grow the stuff under the water into podzol as well, but that was a complete waste of time. And now a complete waste of bone meal. So now I'm going to just have to wait normally for my giant spruce trees to grow. Oh, great. So fungus is not wood, although I guess it's a stem, but it's technically, you know, it's mushroom. Should it make the wood noise when you place it? I mean, just sounds wrong. Sounds like it should have its own sound effect, or it feels like it should at least. Okay, it is getting nighttime yet again, which is a good thing for us right now because we can hop down here and go and check out a couple of these drowns and see if we can't get them to drop us a nice bit of copper. That would be kind of nice if they could do that. Although I wonder if we're going to have the same issues we had with the piglins in the last episode with them being able to hit us from a distance. It doesn't look like we are having that problem, which is good news. And there is one with a trident there, so we're going to have to be very careful dancing around him. Hopefully, he's still holding it backwards. Look, they still haven't fixed that. There's a couple of chaps down here as well, which we can take out with relative ease because I'm just so good at this game. And we did. We got a copper ingot. So there we go. Proof is in the pudding. Drowns will now drop copper and not gold. Amazing. Time for bed. Stop eating me grass. We have our first giant spruce. It has grown, which means we now have podzol. So, oh, great. And a creeper. Great. Go off in the water if you're going to go off, please. Thank you. Right, that means what we can do is climb this tree, get lots and lots of nice tasty spruce, then, obviously once it's gone, we can be growing giant mushrooms in its place, which means that we can finish off our mushroom stems and finally get our house done. I thought you were going to do farming this episode. Well, things take longer than I expect. The tree has been chopped down, but I have a little bit more bad news, actually. We've got no bone meal left. I don't actually know if these mushrooms will grow or not. I know we can plant them, and it's not impossible that they'll spread, but I'm not 100% convinced that they're going to grow without help, so we are going to need some more bone meal, which means we're probably going to need a composter. I don't think there's any other way we can get it right now other than fighting skeletons. We did kill a skeleton last night, however. Did we get any bones from it? No. Ooh, no bones. Excuse me, sir, you don't happen to have any bones on you, do you? No, just copper. Wow, these things are regular. Good for dropping copper. Excellent. We're going to be copper rich with a drown farm then. Maybe we should make a drown farm. The next giant spruce tree has grown, and while I chop this one down, it might actually be a good idea for me to now talk to you about a couple of bugs that have popped up their heads in the latest betas. Check these two out. Today's bug is a little bit of a strange one, something you'll probably never even notice or come across, but I thought I'd include it because I thought it was relatively interesting, and that is that it is impossible to set fire to the side of a block that is above water. I know, how game-breaking. Oh, I wish we could do that, mate. It really doesn't make a great deal of difference, does it? But yeah, if we set fire to the side of that block there, you will see the block sets on fire, which is expected behavior. If I do the same there, it actually sets fire to the sand and fire tick is on, so yeah, everything's going to burn and disappear. You can't, however, set fire to the side of netherrack. You just can't set it on fire, but you can obviously light the top, and you can light the top there. However, as much as we can set fire to the sides of those there, we cannot do it above water because for some reason the game seems to think that fire is on water and therefore is putting it out immediately, which is not really that great. You can do it there, that's absolutely fine, and you can see it's trying to spread, but it won't spread to the sides because the water's there. Now, if we go a couple of blocks higher up, these ones will set fire absolutely fine. It's only the one directly above the water that there is a problem for, and I guess, you know, it's probably not the most interesting bug in the world, but I have another water one for you as well. So imagine this scenario. You are out and about planting your bamboo, you're growing it, you're bone mealing it, you're chopping the top off, and you think, you know what, with this bamboo here, I'm going to put that one away, and I'm going to waterlog it because, of course, that's what you want to do. So you waterlog... Oh, no! My bamboo has disappeared into nothingness. That's right. Waterlogging a bamboo, or putting water directly on a bamboo, you can't do it on the sapling because the sapling has a full hitbox, but on the actual bamboo itself, if you waterlog it, it just deletes the bamboo. The bamboo just goes, mate, which is obviously absolutely fine because when are you ever going to be in that situation? I guess once that's grown once, it's going to probably be... No, because it'll be 2 blocks high, won't it? And if it's 2 blocks high and you waterlog the bottom one, you still get the top one. So it's not, I don't know. It was like marked down as quite a nasty bug, but I don't think it's that bad either. So both of today's bugs, as much as they are bugs, really not going to affect too much for you. So I really wouldn't worry about it. Well, I guess those weren't the most exciting bug reports in the world. However, on a brighter note, we have determined that podzol will in fact grow through dirt underneath the water when it's grown on a giant spruce tree. Completely accidentally, it did grow through here and round there, and we've now got some more mushrooms down. I haven't finished the house, but I do feel like it might be a good point now to try and wrangle up at least 2 of each of the types of animals we can find, so we can start getting some farms put together, I guess. Which means we're going to need fence posts in order to make the actual paddocks, and we're also going to need some shears in order to get some wool so that we can make carpet, so that we can, we don't need to worry about fence gates. We'll do the old cheaty jump over the fence gate thing instead. This will be much better, but now, yeah, we need an area to... Oh, the Wandering Trader's here again. Hello, sir. Have you brought me lots of wonderful, tasty things? Oh, look, there's a witch down there. An underwater witch. Well, we better sort her out, first and foremost. Ow. That's her gone. And I guess that must mean, yeah, it's time for you to go as well, sir. There we go. Wandering Trader has been gotten rid of, and I have half a heart. Please don't kill me, llama, with your spit. I only have half a heart. There we go. Whew. We managed to evade certain death. Whew. Oh, that Wandering Trailer's a wily one. Wandering Trailer? Trader. He didn't say that. He said trailer. Shut up. It's fine. So where are we going to actually put these farms? That's a good question. I mean, we could fill this water area in here with all of the dirt we don't have and put it here, or we could maybe build it over on the sand over there, which might not be a bad idea at all. I mean, I never planned to have a desert-based, well, farm, but we can do that. There's no reason why not. So yeah, that might be a better option considering it's nice and flat. So first things first, let's build the world's worst bridge over there. And yes, we can make these look nicer and prettier in the future. For now, they're just going to be convenience for dragging animals about on leaves. And now the bridge is in place, we're going to need the pens. So we don't need to be massive ones. We don't need tons and tons of animals. We only need a few of each one, just so that we can sort of relatively regularly get items from them. I'm going to grab a couple of these dead bushes as well, because I quite like dead bushes. And I guess I feel like we should maybe start a level down from here, which does mean mining quite a lot of this sand away. And I don't have the fastest pickaxe for doing that. Let's go see if we can get ourselves a slightly faster shovel. I know I just said pickaxe a minute ago. I meant shovel. We do have an unbreaking gold shovel. That's not going to be much help for us. And we've got quite a few diamonds. So let's spend some diamonds. Let's make ourselves a diamond shovel. And let's go upstairs on the enchantment table and see if we can't get this to be a little bit better. We only have 8 levels. We don't need many. We just need... It would be nice if we could get some sort of efficiency on it. Even if it's only efficiency 1, that would be nice. Ooh, both have got unbreaking. Don't really want that. But there we go. We got efficiency 1. That's going to help us out quite a lot in just making our way through that sand. So while I'm clearing out the sand from this area, this would probably be a good point for us to go over to me discussing one of the latest fixes in these latest betas. Enjoy! Today's fix might not seem like a particularly important one to the average player, but to a speedrunner or somebody who cares that their seeds are identical, this is quite an important one, and it's to do with loot chests. So we've come over to this desert temple here, and if I smash my way down and break that, whoa, that was only just did that. That was totally accidental. Woof. Anyway, yeah, if we smash our way in and we open these chests, then we should find loot inside. So we're not in the beta right now, we're actually in the current version of Minecraft, and the idea here is that if I open these chests in this world and then create an identical world with the same seed and open the chest, we will get different loot. And there is only one way to test this out, and that is to use multi-instancing. I have a video on this if you don't know how to do it. On this side, we have this exact world, and on this side, we have this exact world again, but a completely different world, the same seed, the same location. Let's see what's inside the chests, and we need to get our bearings here. So let's fly up to the top. Let's look forward, and we want to be facing that hill, and that way we know we'll be facing the same way. And we're going to open this chest here, and we've got some gold, some string, some bones and whatnot. Now, let's do the same thing on the left-hand side. Let's fly up so we know we're facing in the exact same direction. We want to face towards that hill, go back down again and open this chest. And you can see, although it's pretty much similar items, the layout is different, which means if you're trying to do a speed run on the same seed over and over again, the RNG is getting in your way. You want the same item. So again, if we turn to the left and open that chest, do the same thing on here. It's the similar items. In fact, it's pretty much exactly the same, but just in a different layout, but it's not ideal. So over in the beta, we have chest test 1 on this side and chest test 2 on this side. They are identical copies of the world, but they're brand new, fresh ones we haven't been in before on either of those. So let's head over to that temple and find out what's there. So here we are. I have lined myself up on the left-hand side. I'm just lining myself up on the right-hand side. And if we open this chest here and this one here, you should see the layout and the items are identical. We will get the same exact contents in the same exact chests every single time we go to the same loot chests on the same seed. And as you can see, as I turn around, the layout's exactly the same. And yeah, so that's proved that that's working. However, this does slightly concern me, and my reasons for that are because I'm an add-on maker, and I recently made a map that was on the Minecraft Marketplace, which is called Infinity Dungeon, and I already had some problems with loot chest bugs. This chest here is a very special chest. It is actually connected within the game to a loot table, and the only way I was able to do that was by using World Edit, but it means that it's got a custom loot table, so whenever I open this chest, I will get the different loot based on what I want to be in there from my loot table, and this is a really, really important function for map makers to be able to do, and thankfully I can see here it is still working. The problem is what happened previously with the bug is that you had the original chest, and when you control clicked it or tried to place more of them in the world, because effectively the loot was already being pre-generated when the world generated, you just end up with the exact same thing in every single chest, which meant your adventure map was not very adventurous. You couldn't get many items because all your chests had the exact same loot in. So I'm so glad that they have managed to do this loot fix without messing these chests up again. That makes me very happy. Well, it might not be to everybody's taste, but I think that's a positive fix for Minecraft. And now look, we have fences and no animals in there yet. We need to go to bed again because it's very, very late. I've already seen a drowned with a trident kicking about down there, so we want to avoid that. And then we need to wrangle up our animals, and we also need to make sure one of the pens has got grass in the bottom. That would, of course, be the one for the sheep, so that they can replenish their wool. And in case you're interested, I managed to mine over 11 stacks of sand for that, which is quite good going, really, considering. No, it looks like we've got our first animal already. Yeah, I forgot about that. We're going to need some torches in these as well, aren't we? That would absolutely make sense. And this one here, we're going to make into our grass one for our sheep. And we need to make sure the grass actually extends beyond the fence posts so they can't eat the ones, well, all of it. And then, you know, it will never spread. They need to be able to have grass outside of the pen for it to spread into, because sheep are hungry little critters. So with our fields now in place and the grass starting to grow and many, many torches, lots and lots of torch spam to make sure the whole area doesn't get too dark, it is time to go and wrangle our first couple of animals, and they're not going to be this sheep because our grass hasn't grown yet. We're going to go and see if we can find some pigs or some cows. And I can immediately spot a couple of pigs over here, which is good news, although the bad news here is that I didn't bring any non-gravity blocks with me. Getting them down from here and across that certain death ravine is going to be relatively tricky, I think. So let's make that path a little bit wider for them. Try and prevent them falling to their doom. Hey chaps, just need one of you, please. You wouldn't mind coming with me? It'd be very, very helpful of you. Whatever you do, don't fall down the hole. It's quite a simple thing not to do, but knowing my luck, you both go heading off straight down there. Look at you, you're trying to get over the edge. Stop. Come up the hill. There we go. Safety. Safety first. And could probably do to just make that work a little bit better as well. So we've got a nice way across here and probably like arrange this area a bit better so it's not so lethal. But we'll worry about that later on because we are drastically running out of time. We have 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock, which is probably going to be just about enough time to get these pigs and those sheep into their pens. I don't think we're going to have a great deal of time to do anything else, sadly. But so far today, we've had a good success. We've not come across any bugs at all, other than ones, obviously, that were intentional to find, as in the bug report part of the video. But yeah, in terms of actual survival gameplay, we've had a very good day. So these betas are getting better. I don't know if I've mentioned it already, but we are in the very latest beta. We're in 1.16.220.50, which means, yes, yesterday, the brand new update for Minecraft, the vanilla version or the stable release came out, which was Minecraft 1.16.210, which means I got a lot of work to do updating all of my add-ons and bits and bobs like that, and servers. It could take me a little bit of a while to get all of those things sorted out, but that's not going to stop me making videos first, mate. Videos first, add-ons second. Them's the rules. Right, come on, sheepy sheeps. Into your pen. Come on. We've only got 1 minute and 15 seconds left. We got you in there. Amazing. Right, you can come off your leads now. What we're going to do very quickly is go and get some tasty foods for these pigs and these sheeps to eat so we can get them bred up, bred up. And then hopefully in the next episode, we'll get some actual farming done with like plants and whatnot. And yeah, and we can get the other types of animals that we're going to need as well. Now, we've got loads of hay bales, which means we've got plenty of hay. But I don't know if you can breed pigs with hay. I think that's only carrots. And I don't know if we've got any carrots at all. It doesn't. We've got mushrooms in there for some reason, and pumpkin seeds and sweet berries, which are all technically foods. So let's put those in the right box. Yeah, I'm not seeing any carrots at all, and it's also slightly concerning me where all my potatoes have gone that we got. What did I do with all of my potatoes? I've already put them in there. That's fine then. So it's just carrots. We're going to need carrots, peeps. Now, it might be that I'm just being dumb and we can indeed still breed the pigs with the wheat, but I've got a feeling it's just carrots now. I may be totally wrong about that. But our first sheep, another little grey one, amazing. And come on, pigs. Take the wheat. No, and our timer's going off. Can you hear it? There it goes. It is time, of course, to end the video there, unfortunately. Anyway, it's getting dark. It's very late. So I will say on that note, thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave a like. And if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one.